All right. Well, welcome back on the gravel, everyone. Yeah, I'm on the couch today. Special circumstance, some would say. Yeah, it's our final episode. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's our final episode for a while. I think we're going to be shelving the show. It sucks. Working on this with one of my best friends for almost a year. It sucks, spending all our Sundays. Like, this was our thing on Sundays that we would do. I'm also sick, which is why I probably sound disgusting.
No, guys, he's about to cry.
I'm about to start bawling, in all honesty. No. Yeah, final episode for a while. I think we're going to still be writing under the Alithio Network on like some blog stuff. Not super frequently, not like every week like we were doing the show, but more so just as like to keep the spirit of
on the
gravel alive, but also just F1 talk here at Alithio alive too. That being
it's not just Raven and I here who are fans of the sport,
Yeah. Speaking of, we kind of had some stuff happen at the studio today. We had one of our producers quit unexpectedly. No hate to him. He has all the reasons to. But it's just going to make my job here a little bit harder for the next few weeks. I will now be here every day during the weekdays and, being here in the studio, being in production. That being said, we do have 2 new shows coming tomorrow. We have the return of Good Morning Hockey as well coming back with, oh boy, a lot of guests. I think we have 2 or 3 guests every single day for the first 2 weeks.
I was going to say, I heard it was weeks and weeks of that stuff planned.
So that's going to be really fun. We got a lot to do there. Otherwise, Good Morning Hockey comes back tomorrow. Chicago Hockey Radio will come out tomorrow as our first, it's like a Blackhawks focused more show. And then also an NHL talk as well. But we also will have Forum Blues coming out. It's a LA Kings show with our boys, Rudy and Jonathan. So that's going to be sick. Check those out wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. But that being said, we will kind of go on the gravel, as some would say.
Hop out, drive out on the gravel. There's absolutely no script today.
No script, no planning. We kind of just wanted it to be a full discussion of the race.
And as raw as it can be.
Yeah, and for me, I didn't get to watch it. I woke up under the weather. I slept through all my alarms. I watched the, recap. But
I woke up at I want to say probably 5:50 in the morning, just unexpectedly. So I stayed up for maybe 15 minutes to watch the start of the race, and then I went back to sleep. And I got up and watched the highlights. This was the most unopportune race time of the entire year for us, so I'm not really surprised.
Yeah, the 6 a.m. start is brutal for the Americans, and now we got a few more friendly ones with
the American tour coming around. I mean,
Singapore next at 8 o'clock, or
that one's at 8.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. It'll be a little bit
better.
Better, what some would say, but still pretty hard.
I guess Raven and I also have more time to just actually watch races.
And enjoy it as a fan instead of having to kind of report on it.
Yeah.
Nothing bad about it. It's just that's not what we are. That's not what we ever signed up to be.
Of course.
We just wanted to be, fans of the show, fans of the sport talking on a show.
But I thought, at least from what I saw today, it was a decent enough race. A lot of people were talking about it being the race of the season and XYZ. I did not agree with that whatsoever.
It was a good race. It was, a lot of stuff that we predicted to happen kind of did come true. We got a safety car. First time since Canada. We said
Perez would be on the podium, and if it was not for the last lap, he would have been.
He would have been. And let's also say that he out qualified Verstappen.
Max for the first time in 33 races since Miami 2023.
So it was a great race overall.
I was say, multiple battles for the lead. You had
Colapinto. You had
Colapinto scoring P8, his first points, more points in 2 races than Logan Sargent in 2 years. You had Ollie Behrman setting a record or just being the first driver to ever score points for 2 different teams in his first 2 races of his F1 career, which I thought was pretty cool. I think today was definitely a testament to the future that the both of them have in the sport, which is really exciting. And also like Franco out qualifying Alex Albon in his second ever race too, which is something Logan Sargent never did. So I don't know. There's a lot to pick and choose out of this that was really nice.
You also had the whole McLaren debacle again with
Lando getting knocked out in Q1.
Lando getting knocked out in Q1. He finally did the thing where he made positions on the opening lap.
I saw this one meme where it was like, big brain play from Lando. Like, if I start from P17, I can't lose 5 positions on the opening lap. Big brain Lando.
It's funny. Did you see what Stella said about the
No.
win? Oh, brother, this kind of pissed me off in the fact of like Stella said that if Norris didn't pit at the time that he did, Carlos would have gotten a jump on Oscar.
Yeah.
And essentially was like, this win is 50% Oscars and 50% Lando's.
I don't know.
The papaya rules, all of this stuff that past few weeks.
I don't like papaya rules.
No one likes papaya rules,
really
man.
stupid.
Let them
Yo,
race.
also elephant in the room, guys. I got a haircut. Super necessary. I know Raven did that last week. I decided to hop on the bandwagon. I just had to put that out there. One of my kudos for that. Cut my hair for you guys one more time.
Did you see about the he wasn't MotoGP, but some sort, I think it was an American racing series of like bikes,
I don't know.
like the IMSA equivalent.
Uh-huh.
But a rider died this past weekend in Germany, and apparently he was like a racer, but kind of like an Adam LZ figure to like drift, and like a huge personality. Really got a lot of people addicted and just into like motorcycles and motorsport in that sense.
Yeah.
Racing's dangerous. We've talked about this all the time. And, even with today, like with Carlos's and Checo's crash, like
Weird crash.
but also like someone could have been injured really badly.
I agree. Thankfully, it was on a straight, not
Not on a
straight
curve.
into a wall. It was also a racing incident. I don't care what anybody says. Carlos could have done things differently. Sergio also could have done things differently. Because a lot of people are trying to blame Carlos and say, like he drifted off to the side of the track and just took Perez with him. But you also have to think, he was following the toe of Leclerc and
Understeer.
Perez should have had the eyes to see that he was drifting over and realize, wow, I have like 5 car lengths worth of space on the left side of me. Let me move over as well. And he didn't. He just like kept going completely straight. I mean, it was a racing incident. It's nobody's fault. But I don't think people should be shitting on Carlos as hard as they were.
I guess the other thing to talk about is
That was the first time I've sworn in like 40 episodes on here, by the way.
I think it's appropriate for us to kind of let it fly last episode.
Yeah.
Grand Tour final episode. We haven't watched it yet.
Oh my goodness. After the concert that I went to last night,
I've seen like a bunch of memes and pictures.
I turned the TV on to like find something to watch to put on for everybody at my place. And that was the first thing that popped up. And I was like, I almost started it. I put on SpongeBob instead.
Valid win. I don't know. I mean, from the pictures that I've seen, they did kind of like recreations of, because they've been to Zimbabwe before. They did I think a Top Gear special when they went to Zimbabwe, and they don't have the same cars as they did 20 years ago, but they went to the same spots.
Yeah.
And kind of took the same pictures and like cars parked in the same place, the same style. Oh man,
I'm nervous to watch it.
Because
I just know I'm going to be disappointed. Not like, well, I don't want to say disappointed, but
you're going to be sad it's over, man. It's been 20
I was going to say,
years.
like, and just from when we started watching it, it's just become it had become like one of my favorite routines. Just like not only just watching the show, but like doing it with you and all that kind of stuff. So to see that kind of fade away, I mean, we'll find something else to watch, but
Amazon did say that they are going to continue the Grand Tour with 3 guests, 3 new people, and
oh man,
I mean, I think
that's gonna go down.
everyone
with Top Gear.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of has the same reaction of just let it go. Like, let it be. Like,
I
we don't have
agree.
another River Monsters. We don't have another, like, something like that. Like, they came, they conquered, and they're leaving now.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting that they set aside like they titled it as an entirely new season for this one episode. Like they didn't put it on as the
Season
fourth-
finale. But,
yeah,
like,
season finale, season 5 was a completely new season. I also don't know how long it was. I
think it's longer than
think it's
regular
over
ones.
2 hours, if I remember correctly from what I saw last night. But
What else we got?
Gabriel Bortoleto took the lead of the F2 championship today.
Let's talk about the F2 championship in general. Let's talk about that opening start.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
In the feature race?
Oh my God. I woke up and saw that and was like,
well,
there's something to talk about.
I didn't know who had the stall at the start, but some driver stalled at the start and like multiple cars were trying to avoid him. And it was towards the back of the grid. But I know like Pepe Marti crashed into this dude and like his car launched in the air and then landed upside down and like skidded across the track. It was crazy. I mean, you'll see it like everywhere online if you look for it. But that was unbelievable. We also had a Dutch Ver take the win. You know, everybody's been fiending for a Dutch Ver win, and we got it in Richard Verschoor. Finally winning an F2 race and not being disqualified after as well, which I thought was pretty nice. Kimi Antonelli scored a podium today, which was pretty, I guess, unexpected for me, I guess. I don't think he's like really been too consistent this year. So now that he's actually standing on a podium is pretty nice. I mean, obviously he's taken race wins, but they were both sprint races.
Yeah.
So
Let's go back to F1 with, I know a few people had changed some engine components, started from the pit lane. Was George one of them?
I thought it was Lewis.
Lewis? Okay, well,
maybe it was George. No, I think it was George.
I knew it was a Mercedes, and I think Albon.
And yeah, no, an Alpine.
Alpine.
I think it was an Alpine. We could just be yapping. We have no idea today. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
I mean, either way, it's like going through free practice and qualifying and then changing power unit and taking that either pit
Grid
lane
penal-
start
pit lane start or back to the grid penalty.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, for some of these teams, is it
Pierre
worth it?
Gasly. Because he got
It was
disqualified
Gasly,
from
yeah.
qualifying. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. I haven't paid attention to anything racing this whole week. I kind of feel bad.
I don't know, man. There's been plenty of other things in the world going on.
I know.
We have the start of football season, and both of us have some fantasy teams, so...
And mine's going pretty hard right now. Just got Amon-Ra St. Brown traded onto my team this week. Pretty happy about that. We had the absolute debacle that was the Kamala Harris-Trump debate. That was so epic. We're not going to talk about politics on here. It was just a nightmare. Period. Our country's kind of screwed. What else? The sky is blue. Confirmed today.
It is still ridiculously hot, and global warming is eating our planet alive. What else?
You realize how awkward this comes across?
Yeah, if someone comes and like watches this as like their
This is the
first
first
on gravel
episode.
video, and it's just us two sitting here with quite literally nothing planned. It's kind of funny. Me and Tassos even said where it's like, what if this is the episode that got 10,000 views? And then like,
I don't know.
I don't know. It would just be funny as hell.
It would be, but I don't see that happening. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, you guys get real. Not that we're not real, but you get more real. Raven and I kind of just sitting here bickering. It gets so weird. Like when I'm sitting on the couch doing this every single week, you know,
I'm
I'll
up
have
there.
my laptop and all my stuff. Yeah, he's all the way over there. But there's like, if you pan the camera down right now, my legs are kicked up on the table right now. Like put the dog up, you know. It's raw.
It's weird. I mean,
and I think it also just like feels awkward sitting here talking about all this stuff because I know this is
the last episode.
last episode.
And I mean, that's part of it too, where it's like we can't really just be like, oh, see you next week, and then never post and change everything on, you know, the show page.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cruel. So, giving just like a hoorah kind of send off of, just us doing the thing that we've been doing for a year, but just in its bare bone forms.
You know what? This actually, I want to, at some point, like after this goes out, just look at the very first episode that we did, or like maybe the first one with video, because like it'll feel way more rudimentary and just old.
Well, it's like, dude, I said to you, like, we should record how we used to, where both of us are sitting at the desk.
No, I kind of like it. Like, hey, this is still a really comfy spot. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just,
God, I need to blow my nose. If you want to rant for a second.
yeah, it's fine. I guess for me, it's more of just, I don't know. I like doing this podcast with Raven. It was always, a hobby for me, that kind of stuff. And then to see it grow as much as it did. And I mean, it's not like it's grown to some massive level, but, growth period has always been fun to see. Kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this. And I always say at the end of every single one of our episodes, like, I do appreciate every single person, who tunes in and watches this stuff, because it's always made it worth it for me. And I know it's been the same for this guy over here, but
That it has. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to agree with you.
you're correct on doing that. But yeah, I don't know.
Now we can play racing games together more.
It's fair.
So, quite literally on Sundays, we could
I can come home from work and immediately hop on the sim.
Yeah. And I mean, we still have, like, that's the other thing too, is like, shout out all the people that we met from doing this, Jack Davis, Coffee Corner Media, Funky T-Bone, like, those are all people that we would not have known if
On the Gravel didn't exist.
Exactly. And I'm thankful that we got to talk to them, and we got to interview all of them, and they're doing their own things respectively. I mean, dude, we can still go on Funky T-Bone stream and hang out and just kind of do our own thing. And I don't know, it's the thing about it too, where when I was told, or I was approached and was like, show's not doing too well numbers wise, and it's like, we can shelve it or we can just kind of like get rid of it altogether. And I was like, I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't.
No, why would I want to get rid of a year's worth of work? Like, that doesn't seem fair. And
Also,
so,
just a year's worth of commitment to this.
Yeah,
I guess,
dude.
and just F1 as a whole.
but that's the thing too, where it's like, in 5 years, in 3 years, where maybe I'm not as needed in the production side of things, but I'm still, part of the company and doing production stuff. But, maybe I'm not head producer of every show that's on the network. That's where, yeah, we can afford to kind of do a show that's not doing too great. And at that point of time, I would have had, made a bunch of more stuff, made, graphics, stuff like that, and then could actually make those things for our shows. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing too, is like, those shorts, it's like we were making 3 shorts a week, but those shorts take time. And it's like, yeah, you can use AI and stuff. I personally don't. I
Neither
hate
do
that
I.
stuff. So everything you saw over the past, 4 months of shorts from On the Gravel was
Raven and I sitting at our computers.
Yeah.
Raven would come over with his laptop, and we would have editing days.
like
every
literally
single
just
week.
2 hours of both of us sitting, him in his room, me in his living room, of just us editing. And that's kind of a part of it too, is time spent, where, the show would take 8-9 hours a week out of my time to, edit everything, make sure everything's scheduled, coming up with,
Research, plan, prep.
all of that. And just having that time, kind of not having to do my own show and just being a producer, is the best move that we can possibly do right now. It sucks. And
It's
like,
no hard feelings to anybody.
yeah, it's
It's kind of how life works sometimes.
exactly. But I don't know. It's bittersweet. I know I kind of wanted to name this episode last chapter, but not into the book or something along the lines of that, where it's like
Cooking up a name for this one's going to be interesting because you know it's so funny is the fact that last week was one for the road.
one for the road, as in like a play on the words, and now we're quite literally leaving.
Well, it was one for the road because of the grand tour last week. That's why like I picked that name, and of course now we're here with
one for the road.
one for the road.
I don't know, man. It's
One for the road, part 2 in quotations or parentheses.
I don't know. It's not the end of On the Gravel. We've said that multiple times. Who knows, dude? We could be bored and not doing anything over breaks, and you know, just might make an On the Gravel video to throw up on Alithio. You know,
Who knows? Raven and I could be sitting in our bedrooms and just say fuck it.
do something
Yeah.
related to the show, and you know, give content, because I mean that's why we started this in the first place, was because the F1 sphere is so big, and
Yeah.
you know, everyone has their opinions, and everyone has such different opinions.
People love
telling you
to
that their
tell their
opinions are
opinions are they tell you their opinions are correct. Everybody loves to fight. Everybody likes to take the piss on other people's opinions. I mean, we've been on both sides of it. You like here, you know, we had that one short got over, that got over, like,
125,000 views. By
Yeah,
the way. Thank you for that. That is pretty.
yeah.
cool
Thanks,
to
random
fucking-
people on the internet who found that
Never,
your
we'll
recommended
never
page.
watch this. Actually,
No, it was because like I would like 75% of people were just shit on us in the comments,
Oh,
and it's like
half
of
the-
course like they want to make me feel bad, and I'm just sitting there reading it and just like laughing my
should I just
fucking
read
ass
a
off.
few of these like really funny ones?
I think you should that shit made my day checking those comments every single like time I'd open my phone because it literally had me like crying.
67 comments. Top one is POV. You started watching Drive to Survive in half of a race of F1, and you want to make a podcast. Wow, dude!
Wow.
you really got us there.
I like if you didn't write that comment,
Oh, this
I'm
was
gonna
this
jump
one
off a
was
bridge.
great because this one started with this guy's comment, and then there's 17 other comments.
oh yeah, and then the other people start fighting amongst each other in the comments section.
Found more idiots who believe this is the reason why Checo stayed in Red Bull. Checo stayed in Red Bull because he's a great driver, and he was a runner-up in last year's championship, and he's the best teammate Max has ever had. He's 8 places lower than his teammate in the same cars. The response to that.
Yeah, like I love stirring the fucking pot.
That's
and-
what we wanted to do, too, was like, yeah, are our opinions always going to be correct? Hell no.
No.
Not even like pros who are doing this as like full-time jobs are getting everything right all
Of course
the time.
they get called out for it way worse
way,
than we do.
way worse than we do.
Like I feel like it's like Raven and I come on here and you know, we're not claiming to be some like
Professionals.
perfect
We're not.
analyst or anything.
Yeah.
We're literally just yapping. And you know, those kinds of comments, I mean, people get so bent out of shape and it ruins their day seeing somebody talk about their own opinion on something.
I mean, we said it when those comments were coming out and that video was kind of blowing up a little bit, was that any engagement is engagement.
negative engagement is still engagement.
Like, I hate to bring it up, but when you downvote a video, YouTube takes that as an engagement.
yeah. So if you really
if you
don't like a
really
video,
don't like anything,
scroll past
just
it.
do nothing. Just watch it and stop. Just stop watching it in general.
Dude,
because-
I appreciate all my haters.
You are the reason
Both-
I wake up.
Both you are the air that I breathe. Both on the podcast and you know on the track when I'm in iRacing. All my haters fuel my my desire to keep getting better.
I don't know. I mean, we can also like live stream and stuff now too on our free time. Like, there's so much that
Yep, Raven will still be here on the network. I'll be dead in a coffin. So it's nice knowing you guys.
he will still be around every once in a while.
I will.
I mean,
will. I'm not going anywhere.
you've been of value to this company for 10 months now, in the sense of like research, and even if it's just taking a little bit of work off me, like
Yeah.
you were stepping up and doing that. So I imagine that even though you're not really doing any shows here, or technically not on the network anymore in the sense of like
I know
we
what
don't
you
have
mean.
our show, you're still going to be a part of what we're doing here. And
I'm always here to help, and you know that.
yeah, so there'll be days where Oliver probably comes in here when I'm setting up everything and making sure things work and trying out new systems to, make the show better. Because some things that we are working on trying to get are, better cameras. We're trying to get the actual desktop for the producing studio aspect of it because I
Set up
just bring my
Raven's,
laptop every week, which
Yeah, dinky old gaming laptop.
it's a pain. Things weighs like 15 pounds. But, we get the show done. And it's been fun. It's been a wild ride for F1. It's been a great time to start and, do the show.
I mean,
over
dude,
the
like,
last-
we've put out over 40 episodes after having watched only one season of Drive to Survive and half of an F1 race, dude.
technically, by the time we started it, I was only, 6 races deep.
Raven was like
I maybe watched half an episode of Drive to Survive and then thought it incredibly boring because of my film background, but
yeah, I was gonna say Raven was a freshie. I've been doing this for years. But
so that's also where it's like we had the dichotomy of someone getting into it and someone who knew what they were talking about more. So
and Raven, you can tell from the OG episodes compared to now, Raven's like knowledge base on this has grown a lot, which is really cool to see, honestly. But
yes, I know what brake bias is now. I finally learned what that is.
yeah, it's very important.
It's very important, and I've already set it up on my.
Yeah, I was gonna say
wheel.
if you don't know what brake bias is, just watch the 2-lap shootout at Baku 2021, and there you go. You're good to go. That's what brake bias is, and that's what happens when you fuck it up. You lose the championship.
Kind of. Did you see that Newey clip of him on a podcast, and he was alluding to Hamilton fans and the fact that they cannot let go of that 8th championship.
Oh, I know.
And he was like,
But those same Lewis fans tell Felipe Massa fans to shut the hell up about 2008. So it's like just fuck off, dude.
I don't know. I think that's kind of a natural wrapping point. Unless you have anything else you want to.
What am I doing for the rest of the day? I'm gonna go see Grease for the first time ever. That movie that came out in like 1970.
With Ray Travolta?
Oh, I don't know.
I think no. Oh God, I'm butchering that.
As a film guy, this is quite.
Yeah, sorry. I was negative 22 years old when this movie came out. Some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, go see that tonight. It's just been a wild weekend. I've been doing so much. Friday
I was gonna say I have not had a moment to just lay down and relax. Especially with,
I honestly would have gotten up and watched the race today,
I tried to.
but I mean, just with like everything I did yesterday with
It is
work.
John.
And then
It's John Travolta,
Yeah.
not Ray Travolta, and Olivia Newton-John.
yeah, just going to work yesterday morning and then going to this concert.
How was it?
It was good. It was Chris Lake, the house DJ. It was at the Salt Shed in Chicago, and what was so nice about it was the first, I think, house show that they've ever done at the outside portion of the venue. And since it was outside, the city noise ordinance mandated that the concert ended by 10 p.m., which was really nice. So I could be like at home and in bed by midnight at the latest.
Yeah.
But I mean, like
I've never been to that venue, but I still really want to go.
it's really nice.
I've heard awesome things about
I'll
it.
show you some videos after this. And then obviously I got my roommate in the Philippines right now.
Shout out Dean.
Shout out Dean. Visiting the family, so I got the whole pad to myself. So maybe host some shindigs. I don't really know, man. I just we just out here on the gravel, man.
Man.
All right,
that's
guys.
where we end it. We'll see you next week, everyone. No, we will see you whenever we see you.
be
Realistically,
Sometime.
we are going to disappear into the ether and reappear at a certain time when we are ready to continue to pick up on the gravel.
I hope to be back one day.
We
And
will.
with that, like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Last week's video right here. Next week's video doesn't exist. Subscribe to the Alithio Network YouTube channel right here. Yeah. Thanks for everything, you guys.
Thank you guys.
It's
Bye.
been really fun.